I don't know. I'm tapped after bitching about my awful week. So.
All right. Well, I'm back here and
I choked.
ready to go here. So,
I'm so sorry.
it's all right. I don't know what in the world just made me think of this. There was years ago.
Oh my god, my Arby's cup. Unsightly.
Yeah. God, you trashing my
I was.
trashing my set here. We don't have any paid advertisements here, so don't be giving away free advertising.
you'll have
Notice
to blur it.
I just moved the can.
Seriously?
Well,
is that really?
We're gonna be talking about it, but
It's a review. It's like,
it'll be a review. Yeah.
Those
So,
are. I think those are open. You
Those
can do
are
reviews
free.
of anything you want.
Yeah. So, but no, you was talking about choking and stuff like that. There was a customer I dealt with on the phone. I don't remember what her first name was at all. This was years ago, but I remember her last name was Gag and Pain.
Gag and pain.
Gag and Pain. That was the last name, and I remember
That's
somebody.
not when you forget.
I know, but somebody asked, "How do you spell that?" And me being the smart as I am, I just go, "Ow." that's all the joke that I have for that.
Name.
That is kind of an unfortunate last name. So, anyway, that's good enough for a cold intro. Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right, so this is Chad and Amanda Talk Shit About.
Mm-hmm.
This is just kind of a weekly podcast / blog, I guess, where we will talk about a few more somewhat lighter news
God,
stories.
no.
Well, not this
What
week.
we've got on tap is not very light.
But mostly, usually lighthearted stuff. It may tie into stories from our own personal lives. Sometimes not, but this is really more the show I created just for anybody that's just starting. I have lots of stories that I want to tell and that I want to leave behind, and this was like a fun, creative outlet for me
Really,
to
like
do
somebody
that.
will find this years from now and be like, "Oh, this
My
is
kids, leave stories for my kids or whatever. Because my grandparents, I'm sure had lots of stories. My parents have lots of stories that they've not necessarily told me. Some of the stuff I'm sure might be awkward to say face to face to your
told me
kid.
some awkward stories.
But what's really weird, I just watched last night's episode of Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and he had Anderson Cooper on.
Mm-hmm.
And Anderson Cooper has been. He did a documentary once before about his dad, because his dad died when he was like 10 or something like that. So he didn't really know his dad that well, I guess. But his mom is like 92 now, and he's been doing this. I think he's finished now. He wrote a book with his mom, and then also has been making a documentary with his mom to like more have an adult conversation with her about who she is. Like, so asking who all did you date?
That's deep.
So aside from dad, like who else did you date and hang out with when you were younger? So like she was with he said on Colbert, they were watching, he remember at one point they were watching like the old original Robin Hood that had Errol Flynn in it, and he's like, "Did you happen to know Errol Flynn by chance?" And she was just like, "Oh yeah."
What?
And he's like, "What?" Like, yeah, they dated, I think, for a little bit. She had dated Howard Hughes for a while. There was some other big name that she had dated. Well, they're Vanderbilts, so like that big.
Anderson Cooper's a Vanderbilt?
His mom was, or is, or whatever.
His mom's not.
His mom
She's
married. She married in, I think, maybe.
Oh, okay. Because I read something about Gloria Vanderbilt a second ago. She's like in her 90s.
But he's getting all these stories, and there was, Steve Colbert asked him if there was anything that she said that you kind of wished that you didn't know. He's like, "Oh yeah," because we were talking about. I think they were talking about Howard Hughes, and he's like, "Was he as crazy as?" She's like, "Oh, he was a little loony there toward the end, but he was my first actual orgasm." And he's like, "Oh my God, I did not need to know that." like shit just got real at that point.
See, my mom only goes as far as there was a dude with a glass eye, and we tease her about that all the time. Like, see your man with the glass eye,
That's funny.
I think she did actually run into him.
Really?
Like at some mutual friend's wedding. Like, I don't know. It was funny though.
Yeah.
We were always teasing her about the dude with the glass eye as long as I can remember.
Yeah. My real dating, I didn't really date that much. So all my dating, air quote, horror stories I talked about with my online dating stuff.
Oh, really?
Just that one.
That's the
that
gamut?
one.
Oh,
that's
God.
really as far as actual horror story. Well, there was the twins. That was kind of rough. I mentioned her once before about the prom thing with her and her friends.
Mm-hmm.
But that was really about the only two that was like super creepy, aside from baby
Oh,
mama
I have
stuff.
so many creepy stories.
But
I dated a guy. I was pretty sure he's an alcoholic. He got to the point where he had to drink like a 40 before he could go to sleep, and I was like, "This dude's an alcoholic."
oh wow, yeah,
Yeah. So I hope he's okay now, but I had to get out of that.
yeah.
It
That doesn't sound healthy.
No.
But speaking of drinking, I'm thirsty. So anybody watching on YouTube, you'll notice there's a couple of rocks glasses sitting here because I'm that fancy with how I'm going to drink this.
I like these.
That's kind of how the commercial showed it even. But there's this, and by no means are we getting paid to do an advertisement. I like to drink a lot of soda here and there. I've been trying to give it up, actually. I can't say I'm trying to give it up. I'm making a point to drink a lot less soda than I do. And, of course, as soon as I say I'm going to do that, Pepsi comes out with this 1893 mix. And I'm not really sure what it is, but they've got like an actual cola, and then they had like a ginger cola, which was kind of like a ginger ale. I had one of those over the weekend. I'm not super big into ginger ale.
I am, and I hated it as a kid, and I think it's great now.
It's got, I don't know, it's just got this weird aftertaste for
That's the
me.
ginger.
And just it kind of has like just a little bit of a burn or something
Yeah, I
like
like
that.
that.
It's just,
Like when I go out and get sushi, I will eat the ginger just straight up.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I will eat just that pink ginger. I can just eat it.
Oh my god,
Yeah, I'm
you
a
freak.
weird. Yeah, I know it's weird. I know it's
So-
weird too, though, because I'll be at the buffet line and I can just see Scott staring at me like, "Are you gonna eat all that ginger?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it's on."
That's crazy. So here's one of my favorite sound effects.
Do it.
So we're gonna try to see how well this will pick up on the mic. Oh, it looked like look
Satisfying.
that was satisfying. Okay, so we're gonna try.
My God, be careful. We have so many electronics.
I know. Wait. Well, here I'll do my mic closer
Okay.
because it'll be empty. But hang on.
That's not a good pour.
No, that was a weak pour compared to the first one.
I know.
Here, I'll give you a little bit more.
Yeah.
I bought a couple of these, so I got more.
But I think it's like the going back to the old school where we just use good old fashioned sugar instead of. Oh, got in your nose.
Well, no, I sniffed it. I sniffed the can to see if it smelled any different to me. But now you just had some like regular fountain Pepsi from Arby's a while ago.
Which is weird because usually I'm not drinking soda at all. But I went to Arby's.
This actually, I don't even taste anything. Do you taste anything?
Oh man, this is like. It tastes more like root beer to me.
I usually have a pretty sensitive palate for a lot of different sodas here and there. I can tell the difference between this and that.
You're saying you can't tell
For
the difference
me-
between that and Pepsi? I can. I actually can. It's really weird.
For me right now, I can barely tell the difference
Are you
between this
serious?
and water.
Oh, water. Okay.
Like
Yeah,
I just
it
don't.
has no taste.
I just don't taste anything right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Is
I'm
this
kind of.
caffeinated?
I'm sure it is. Probably.
I'm gonna be up all night. This is awesome.
I'm sure you got work to do.
I do too.
Yes, 34 milligrams caffeine. So, I mean, it's not bad. It's like it's over $1 for a 12-ounce can.
Listen, this tastes like it was stored in a barrel in a basement. I believe in the 1893. It tastes like it came off a pirate ship.
Maybe
Doesn't it taste kind of musty to you?
a little.
Like
Maybe.
at the end when you breathe out through your nose, there's a must. I'm sorry. It's musty.
I'm too congested. I can't tell. So, but yeah. So I mean, that's.
I don't recommend it. I actually don't recommend it.
It's
Usually I'm all
for what
it.
it is, for what you're paying for, and I'm really disappointed. Like I really wanted
You
to
got
like this.
excited?
I really wanted to like this
I'm in favor of them using the natural ingredients instead of
Yeah.
but they did not make this
because
taste
Pepsi,
like
Pepsi has another like real sugar product. I think it's called like Pepsi Life or something. Like, it comes in a green can. It comes in like little 8-ounce green
Yeah,
cans.
Coke did something too, where they're like, we're gonna get back to just instead of the syrups, just sugar.
But they have a quicker expiration date because it's pure sugar, so that could go bad as opposed to the corn syrup.
You could make some hard soda then, just let it sit around, ferment.
There you go.
Just drink it and get sloppy.
I wish that I had my own soda kit, but that's too much work. I don't have that kind of time. Not anymore. For anybody watching on YouTube, I want to keep like looking over my shoulder at a computer. So Amanda's been having some computer issues this week, to say the least. And it's only Monday, and she's like, right at the end of the day before she starts heading this way, she's like sending me messages bitching about her computer. I was like, well, bring it over. I'll take a look at it.
It's something I did too. Apparently, there's parts of your computer you're not allowed to touch per Windows. And I touched them, and Windows got mad at me. And then when I called them up, they're like, buy the subscription to get it fixed. And I was like...
She's like, F you, and then dropped the mic.
I did hang up on the guy because he said he was going to send me an email. And I'm like, all right, send it, dude. Like, let's do it. And he's like, no, I only send the troubleshooting report after the call. Like, the step-by-step.
Yeah.
And I was like, after the call? What good does that do me? And I'm like, so I need to hang up with you before you'll send me anything? He's like, that is correct. So I just hung up right then.
He's like, click.
But apparently that's hanging up on somebody.
He's like, well, I didn't get your email address from you.
No, he did get it from me because he's like, well, I'm going to send you this email. This email is going to be sent. And I'm like, when are you going to send it, buddy? Because I need to start like undoing what I did.
Yeah.
I messed with my registry edit, which I guess you're supposed to not touch.
You need to really know what the hell you're doing to even breathe the word registry. I'm sure he probably got pretty shitty with you.
Yeah, he did. He was like, what are you doing with that? And I was like, well, I've messed with it before in other computers. And he's like, I guess like for Windows 8, it's forbidden forest. Like, you can't undo the things that you do in there, like whatsoever.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know what I would be looking at this point because it's been so long since I worked IT that I know that they've changed the hierarchy of how all that stuff is set up. It's a lot more different.
There's a lot more selections too.
Yeah.
So he's like, basically, you're stupid. And I was like, oh, that's not true. I'm just not, an IT person. And he's like, you should know not to get into that. And I was like, really? Like, I should have known that? I didn't know that. Why didn't you make it like hidden or something if I'm not supposed to get into it? It's not hidden.
It's not like it's behind like a folder that says not the registry.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
That's right.
Like, I wish that would have happened to me.
So anyway,
this tastes like it already has rum in it. But tasteless rum. You're right, it is pretty tasteless.
It's just, I'm disappointed. And I bought 2 cans of it too. So maybe I'll try one again tomorrow and see if I change my mind. But
I don't think so. This is pretty tasteless.
Maybe that's how it was supposed to taste back in the day.
Yeah, maybe that's full flavored back in the day, and
we're so tainted by corn
like everything's so
syrup
salty or sugary.
Right, maybe.
That we're just like, this tastes like nothing. And it's like, well, it's the very nuanced cola nut in there, and only palates from the 19th century would pick up on it. Like, basically, we've destroyed our taste buds over time.
Maybe. Could be. Speaking of destroyed taste buds, that's a perfect segue into our first story of the evening.
This destroyed my life for like 2 weeks straight, and that was just one, not the sequel.
Okay. So what we're talking about here, I don't even remember where this showed up to me. I think I stumbled across this on Reddit, actually, and bookmarked it because it just struck me as absolutely stupid that anybody would do this. So this particular article I got off of EW.com, which is Entertainment Weekly's website. The headline says, teachers suspended for showing high school class Human Centipede 2.
Cool.
Not really. For those of you who have never seen it, there was a movie called The Human Centipede. Most of it's subtitled, so to know what's going on, you pretty much have to look at the screen so you can read the subtitles.
Oh, that's a great point. I forgot that it's in German.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot that. Right? German?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, because stupid me, a couple years ago, I'm like, okay, I've heard about this movie. I'm going to let it play in the background while I'm cleaning the house. You know, whatever. It's on Netflix or whatever at the time, I think it was. I was like, I'll just let it play in the background. And then it ended up being subtitled. And I'm like, well, crap. So I got to sit down and watch this. And I apologize to gross people out. But for anybody that doesn't know what this is.
Oh, I really got to do this.
Okay. She's covered her ears. So it's about a mad scientist that stitches people's faces to the rear ends of other people to create a centipede out of people's arms and legs. So it's not a full centipede because you wouldn't have like 100 legs, but you have multiple people. She's like over there humming to herself. This is kind of funny. I want to see how long I can drag this on because I find it. She's asking if I'm done. I'm not even started yet.
Oh God!
So
kind of heard that. Oh
yeah,
okay.
No. So anyway, he stitches people together. It's a snuff movie. It's a horror movie. It's gross. There's a couple people that gets drugged, and it's like two girls and an Asian guy, and the Asian guy's up front, and the girl that he's really picking on is in the middle. But everybody ultimately dies in the end because that's not a sustainable type of organism. You know, only the first person would get any substance, and then obviously it would pass through, and there's nothing left by the time it gets to the second, third person. It's really gross. South Park did a parody of it, which is absolutely hysterical. But anyway, that's kind of the story. So cool. You're okay. So I waved to her.
You were like
I was moving my hands like a picturing
I was like
the centipede.
Okay.
So that's the point of the first movie. The second movie actually, from what I've read, acknowledges the first movie as a movie. And
they're like, that was just made for entertainment.
Yeah, so the second movie,
it's like a snuff film.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's kind of essentially, to me, it's like a snuff film. But the second one, I guess, you know, is another different crazy mad scientist guy sees the movie. Oh, this is a great idea, so I'm going to take that and build on it and make a bigger one. More people chained together. That's the whole movie.
Cool.
So whatever. So some just absolute brilliant high school teacher felt the need.
She's a substitute, isn't she?
Was it a substitute? I don't remember seeing anything about her being a substitute teacher.
Oh, I thought she was. Oh, okay, never mind. That's something I made up in my head.
Yeah, there was some other story about a substitute teacher not too long ago about something, but I don't remember now what it was. But I like how this starts, and it says, and you thought your high school experience sucked. Some unlucky, or maybe lucky, depending on their feelings towards gross out B movies. Students at a Tennessee school had to watch Human Centipede 2 full sequence during class, and parents weren't happy. Of course. So, and then even in the article it gives a brief description of what the movie is, but it says it was so grotesque that the British Board of Film Classification initially refused to give it a classification.
Sweet.
Therefore preventing it from entering UK theaters. They later gave it an 18 classification after cuts were made. So basically our equivalent of a rated R, I would think.
Scroll down, there's more.
Okay, why a teacher decided to show students this film is unclear, though franchise director Tom Six totally supports it. Of course he would. He says it should be mandatory to watch THC2 in school classes. It deals with a character who is bullied and what to do. I don't
what to do in a bullying situation. Like, I know.
That's ridiculous. Like, what? I've not seen the movie, but I don't think that, you know, sewing people together is not necessarily how you confront your bullies. That sounds like something a bully would do to other people.
Sure.
But I just can't believe that, it would cross the teacher's mind
I can't
to even show an
believe-
R-rated movie, period, in a high school.
I remember when we were in elementary school, we got to watch Home Alone. But he says, like, come and get me, you big horse's ass.
Yeah.
They, like, had to turn the TV and mute it. So we couldn't see.
Couldn't even read his lips.
Yeah, they knew right where it was. Like, they had practiced it to know where. Because all of the classes
Just
got together.
mute it.
Oh, we weren't even allowed. It was one of those rolly carts. Like,
Yeah, well, yeah.
turn
But
it on.
still, just have a remote control for the TV nearby and just mute for a second. And
What's
whatever.
weird is this teacher was just suspended. She wasn't fired. Like, they're investigating
Well,
it.
they're investigating it, but
I
mean,
hope-
no kids were harmed. They may be psychologically scarred for a little bit,
Scarred.
but
That movie scarred me
that's
so hard.
so stupid. It didn't really. I mean, I can't say
bothered
that it bugged me in the sense that like I lost sleep over it. Or
I did,
anything.
I did.
I was just like, okay, this is gross, but I'm gonna stick to the end so that way I can say that I did it.
I thought humanity should go extinct after that movie. Like, that's how hard. like I'm like, there's a human that thought this was like a movie that needed to be made. I'm like,
Yeah.
he needs to die. Like, I got so mad.
It's the same with like the Hostel movies for me. Did you see any of those?
No,
There was Hostel. I know they made Hostel 2. I can't remember if they made a third one or not. I know there was at least 2. That movie was like 3 parts for me, I think, or maybe I just narrowed it down to 2.
Don't they get to pick
I think it was like
the
3
tourists,
parts.
like the ethnicity of the tourists they want to kill or something like that?
I don't remember what it was. Well, as far as the first one went, it was like the first third of the movie was like I said, the first third of the movie was like Euro trip. They're just having fun, traveling across Europe a little bit. Then they hit the hostel, and then somebody disappears. And the second third of the movie is like, dude, where's my friend? The one person's disappeared, the other one's trying to find him. Well, then they finally find him, and then it's like Saw after that, and all the torture porn. Part
Oh,
of
is it
where
worse?
they're-
Any worse than Saw? 'Cause
I can't. I keep the first original Saw segregated from all the entire rest of the series. I loved the original Saw because as a standalone movie, because it's like a nice psychological thriller. Everything else after that, I think, was just snuff film.
Really?
That's how I picture those. They were just like gore for the sake of
Yeah, they were.
trying to set a trap. Let's see how elaborate we can make it and stuff like that.
It wasn't
The
really
first-
about testing yourself anymore.
It wasn't really about
after that.
test. Yeah, I mean the first one, the initial setup of everything, I just thought was as a standalone movie, I thought it was brilliant.
Okay.
I watched the second one, and then it was at that point I'm like, yep, I'm out.
Oh, they did
I can't
so many
do.
more.
Oh, there's like
Got
6 of them.
so
I think.
weird.
Yeah,
They got weird.
That's why it's like I have a hard time with franchises of horror movies. Oh, excuse me, Pepsi's starting to want to work against me now. But yeah, like after a while, to me, it seems repetitive to me.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh no, there was with that Saw. There's, I think, my God, I don't even know. It's been a while, but like the 5th one is a movie. Then the 6th one is what was happening during the 5th one. Like they went back and overlapped it and tried to like fill in some shit.
Oh, good
But not in
grief.
a good like, oh, I get it. Wait, no, just in like a we're desperate.
we're desperate to make another movie type of way.
Yeah, like let's see what
Let's
holes we can fill in.
Let's piece together like all the cutting room floor footage.
That's kind of what I thought about it. Yeah.
Because that was like, they did that with Anchorman.
You think
No, not Anchorman versus Anchorman 2. They actually, I remember, I have it, I don't know if I still have it on DVD or not, but like whenever Anchorman came out on DVD, there was like a companion DVD that came out with it, with the version that I got, that was like another story of Ron Burgundy. And it was almost the exact same movie, but it was like all of the B footage, all the jokes that just didn't quite hit just right, that they pieced
Is it
together.
funny?
And there was voiceover.
Oh,
If you'd already seen the movie and then watched this, you're just like,
right.
I don't think that I finished it. I think I got through halfway through it and I'm just like, okay, this is stupid, and stopped it. Because it was like storyline wise, it was trying to follow kind of the same thing. And then they had like, I feel like there was a voiceover, but I may be wrong on that because it's years since I watched it. I may be creating memories there. But anyway, yeah. So that's Human Centipede 2. I'm sure, I probably have all kinds of other stories to.
What if the first Human Centipede is the more disturbing one because it dealt with, just a couple of characters? This one, he's just got, a mill of people.
Yeah.
And you don't
more
care
over the
about
top.
them.
Yeah,
you
didn't get a chance.
Desperation as
right.
much. I don't
maybe,
know.
maybe. I don't know. The picture they have here, though, I think is probably the mad scientist guy in that one. He's kind of creepy looking.
He's a little naked looking.
He looks like a live version of Gru. From
Gru and Fester Adams, if they had boom together.
Yeah. Gru from Despicable Me. Just for anybody that
I just
doesn't know.
watched Minions the other day. I didn't think I was gonna do it, but I did because
we watched it on Netflix the other day.
I kind of hate the Minions when they become the Facebook posts.
Oh God, that's so
hate those.
overdone.
So I watched Minions and I was like, I could clearly tell they were just making a movie to try and
It was a cute movie.
me
I don't know
tell
that
you,
I would watch it again.
Let me tell you why the girl in it pissed me off. Because I was like, cool, you're doing... this is fresh in my head. Because I said, cool, you're doing a movie where there's a strong female character.
Yeah.
But she wasn't.
Yeah, there really wasn't.
All she wanted was a crown because she dreamt of being a princess as a little girl. That's all. That was her whole motivation in that movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, I realize you're making a movie where it's supposed to be set in 1968, but do your characters have to be from 1968? You did mic drop references and stuff like that. You couldn't have updated her a little more where her thrust for taking over things was just to get a freaking crown from another woman? That was your deal? She was so one-dimensional, I really couldn't believe it.
It wasn't about her, though. It was about the actual minions.
The minions that didn't even say a real sentence.
There's a lot of, my wife pointed out, there's a lot of Spanish that they say.
They threw in some French, too, I heard.
Yeah.
So.
It's mostly gibberish, but yeah, you got your occasional French and Spanish in there.
Yeah.
But I gotta check on her computer.
I liked all the 60s music, too. I'm a big fan of the 60s music, but... Oh.
I'll look at that later.
Okay.
It might be a late night. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I hope not. You might tell Scott you might be a little later than normal.
Oh my god.
We'll see what happens with that.
Okay.
I can probably cancel if I have to. So yeah, we're done with Human Centipede, I think.
Yeah, good. Everybody needs to be done with Human Centipede.
Yeah. When was the last time that you saw a $2 bill?
I keep one.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Just because it's something rare? Or...
Yeah. I
have
my
a
dad
few
likes
of
to
them
collect
somewhere.
coins and.
Yeah, I've got a stash of coins and.
Do you have the wheat pennies?
I had a lot of wheat pennies. I'm not sure where I've put them right now, but I have a ton of wheat pennies. I used to save wheat pennies. For some reason, I saved a bunch of bicentennial quarters.
Oh, did you? They were pretty cool, though. I liked them. They were the precursor to the whole we're sick in the States. Now I look at quarters, and I used to keep up on they're releasing one. That was really big in 2000.
We've got 3 sets. I had an uncle that got 3 full set. Well, actually, he bought a whole bunch of sets. I had to go buy maps to put the quarters in.
Yeah, that was big. I remember everybody doing that.
But they got us he got my kids plus my sister's kids all rolls of uncirculated coins.
Oh, that's cool. Now I see ones that I'm I know that wasn't one of the original.
Oh yeah, they've added stuff. They've added in territories and
they do whatever
stuff.
They want now.
Yeah.
Now there's even new designs for the States.
Oh really? I haven't seen that even. But the reason we bring that up is here's a story from Epoch Times. Says an 8th grader tries to pay for lunch with a $2 bill. Officials thought it was fake. This is how rare the $2 bill has become that there are people that don't realize that there's a $2 bill. I don't remember the last time I actually saw one. I know I have one put up somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't remember where it's even at in my house right now, but I know I have one. But yeah, so this little girl got the $2 bill, and it was an old $2 bill too.
Have they even
Like,
made new
really?
ones?
No, they actually they discontinued them a few years ago, actually. Because I saw something the other day. I can't remember who. I want to say Trump or Cruz one said it. I can't remember. I feel like it was Trump. Said something because they were talking about Harriet Tubman getting put on the 20s.
Oh God.
And he's like, why do we have to replace that one? Why
Jackson?
don't we just put her on the $2 bill? And the article's like, well, that'd be all fine and dandy, but we quit making $2 bills like 6 or 7 years ago.
Do you know they pushed her back to 2030?
Did they really?
Yeah. I don't know
Why?
why, but now it's not going to be out till 2030. So everybody got a long time to adjust to a black lady
well.
on a fucking.
There's probably
bill.
going to be some other kind of like update to the 20 anyway for counterfeit reasons between now and then. They
I
might as well
know.
just go ahead and make the change.
I'm not sure what the. I heard it was going to be pushed back to 2030. I was like, what?
That's nuts. But heck, we'll probably be closer to a cashless society by then anyway.
I hope Bitcoin takes over. I don't know. Bitcoin's
It's
volatile.
iffy. Nah, I don't know how well it's going to hold up. It's that whole Bitcoin thing seems really weird to me.
Well, all the money disappearing. Remember when that happened? Like it just disappeared and everybody's Bitcoins were worthless and they don't know where it went.
Ooh, really? I
Yeah.
didn't see. I don't know.
That happened. And they're like, well, it's its own stock market. So every day it's like up and down and worth depending on how many people bought it the day before or invested in it.
It seems too much like a scam to me. I don't know. Because I know there's like things you can run on your computer that like it would use extra processing power on your computer. And they call it like Bitcoin mining. So like for every so many processes, you get like a fraction of a Bitcoin, and it just sits there and adds up over time. But it's like, what do you do with that? Like I've seen at conventions little signs of people say like, "Oh, we accept a Bitcoin too."
There's
I'm
one
like,
place
what? Why?
here in Indianapolis that does too.
Really?
It's down Keystone. Of course, it's a computer repair
Well,
place.
of course.
They accept the Bitcoin.
Figures.
But like in New York City, like bodegas accept it. It's pretty crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's
That's
weird.
nuts. But yeah, so this little girl where's that? I was in Texas. Go figure. She got the $2 bill from her grandma, I guess, specifically to go buy lunch at school. And it was an old one too. It was like from 1953. So
Why
this
is she handing that out?
I don't know. I think just
You need
grandma.
to keep that.
Yeah, I mean that's okay. We're talking pre-In God We
That's
Trust money
over-
here.
That's over 50 years old.
Yeah.
By a long
Like
shot.
you put that in a safe place.
Yeah.
But they stopped. They kept her from getting lunch. They said, "Well, this is fake money." So
They told her she was in trouble with the police and she had never been in trouble in school before.
yeah,
Really?
yeah. And I can't remember. Was this? How old is she? Did it say? I don't know that it said what grade she was in.
Oh,
I couldn't remember if she was like in high school or junior high. That's what I was trying to figure out here, but I don't see that it says. But
in the 2013-2014 school year in Houston, 40 students were investigated for allegedly using counterfeit money. What?
yeah, I have a counterfeit money story actually.
Is it from the video store? Like somebody gave it to you?
Yes.
I've been given counterfeit money before too, when I was like a store clerk.
And what's nuts is it was like somebody that was a regular customer too.
Did they
I
mean
couldn't
to,
remember.
or did they just get it from somebody else?
Oh, I think they like in the aftermath. I found out I think they meant to because there was a lot of it. They normally would rent stuff. I couldn't remember their names, but I recognized the faces, and I totally did not plan to tell the story. I just thought of it. But for whatever reason, they came in and they decided to buy stuff. This time they were actually going to buy movies.
Oh.
And, I usually had the pin right there. Somebody had moved the little pin,
you're
the little
like,
counterfeit pin. It wasn't right next to me. So I couldn't just mark it. And I was like, I kind of trusted them. But when I felt the paper, like they handed me 3 of them stacked up. And I felt it. I'm like, something's not right. I'm not sure what it is, though. I may just be being paranoid.
What was it, like too stiff?
I think it was too stiff. That might have been what it was. It was just too stiff. It didn't have that softer feel to it. But I set it off to the side. like in like the fifth till where you'd normally put like 50 or 100 or
Yeah.
whatever. So I set it over there so I can go find the pin, because they parked out right across the street. So I hurry up and not across the street, but like across the parking lot. So their license plate was facing me. So I could write down that if I need to. But I hurry up and called. I can't remember. I think I called the owner of the store first. I was like, I think this is what this is, but I'm not for sure. I can't find the pin or whatever. She's like, well, tell you what, I'll call the cops real quick and get them over there. Well, these people went and dropped their stuff off in their car and then went to a Dollar General store that was right down the strip from us. And the cop got there quick.
Jesus.
So he got in. I said, well, that's their car right over there. I was like, they went down to the dollar store. I was like, here's the 3. Because I think by the time that he got there, I found the pin and marked it. And then, no, it wasn't even that. I finally got smart and looked at the money. I was like, what's wrong with this? And I looked at the money, and all 3 of them had the exact same serial number on it.
Oh,
that's
God.
That's what made me realize, okay, this is not right. I didn't even have the pin. So I give it to him.
Because you had the pen that would be just yellow, but then if it was fake,
it would just be black.
It would just be that dark color. Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of what happened with this girl's money, is they tried to mark it, and it marked black because this is before they started.
Old.
It's so old that it didn't have any of that extra chemical in it to make it change, or make it not change, I should say. But anyway, so yeah, the cop goes down to the dollar store, and he kind of made a lap and then saw them leaving. So then I see them, I'm looking out the front window, and I see them kind of booking it across the parking lot to the car. And here he comes walking behind him and just kind of pointing and looking at me and pointing. And I just kind of nod. So he kind of books it over there really quick. He calls for backup. And one of the other cop cars ends up coming in and blocks them in so they can't go anywhere.
God.
So
It's like a small town
sting.
Yeah.
So as it so happened, I remember the owner of the store, they were getting ready to head down to Kentucky. Like, she lived in Indianapolis. They were driving down to Kentucky. They just happened to be heading down 65. About the time this was happening, she's like, well, since this is going on, we're making a quick pit stop at the store. So they just kind of pull off and head over there about the time that all that was going on. And that's really kind of the end of the story. But that was my counterfeit story. So, like, I guess they had, like, they end up seizing, like, a bunch of, like, nice fancy printers at their house, because like the double-sided printer and stuff, but they were so stupid that they only made one serial number.
Oh my God.
They made the one serial
Would you have
number.
been like, if the serial numbers didn't match?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. It was like the whole time I was like, something's not right here.
It's just laziness.
It was laziness. It's sheer laziness. But yeah, so
Here's
don't
the deal.
counterfeit
She
people.
didn't get lunch that day too. They said no lunch for you, and then they said you're gonna in trouble with the police.
Right.
And her grandma's like, that's horseshit, because they're treating her like she's an adult that did something like
Wrong on purpose
really
and all
wrong.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, they need to stop with that.
And they didn't even apologize to her. That's the thing. They gave her the $1 back, but they didn't even apologize, say, oh, sorry for the mistake, and just like, here you go, here's your money back. Because she didn't get lunch, so they had to give her the money back at least.
Well, it's good to know lunch isn't over $2 yet. It was like $1.50 when I went to school.
I think it was $1.25 when I was in school.
I remember the $1.25, but then I got to high school. It was like $1.50, $1.65, something like that.
But there's a few years between us, though, so yeah, I could see. And plus, well, growing up in different states, even.
Oh, but my school was poor. Come on, so.
Mine was little, but my mom was the head cook at my school
Oh, yeah,
while I
you
was
said
there.
that.
So it's like, it was kind of convenient, because like if I would forget my lunch money one day, I get to the end of the line and say, oh, my mom's got it.
My mom packed my lunch every day, and I hated it. Just wanted to eat the school lunch.
We had good lunches too. Like during the time that she was there, like everybody really loved the lunches. Like she changed it up, and we would do stuff that you wouldn't normally have. I can't think of anything specifically that comes to mind. There was one, like, we did like nachos that they call them like beefy nachos. So it was like basically like nachos with cheese, and they take beef hamburger stuff and put over the top of it. So you actually had like meat.
Oh, we had a
and cheese
nacho
nachos.
bar too. It was legit. Like you could put
Yeah.
tomatoes and stuff on top.
I
It was
remember one time there was like some theme that they were. It was probably like a spirit week or something for school, And one day they did a lunch kind of in what the theme was for the day. It was like really old timey foods and stuff like that. But I remember my grandma came in and they made like a bunch, like from scratch, a whole bunch of like homemade. Have you ever had fried apple pies before? If you think, okay, so think like, you know how McDonald's has their little apple pies?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like that, but bigger.
And better.
And a lot better.
And they really deep fry them? Like,
Yeah, like
wow.
it's just like a little mini apple pie. Just, you know, make like a little circle.
Oh, like a turnover?
Kind of like a little turnover or whatever. And then, you know, I don't think they even deep fried them. I think they just, well, I'm not sure how they did it then because it was fast. I think they usually pan fry them. That's how my grandma did it.
Oh, like butter in a skillet.
She would pan fry them and stuff. She'd make a ton of them at a time. But yeah, they actually had homemade fried apple pies one day as like the dessert to go along with whatever else there was. It was like cornbread and I don't remember what all there was.
For some reason, whenever there was a mac and cheese day, and it was like delicious macaroni and cheese, but then it got served with like this huge cinnamon roll too. Like that was our lunch. I loved that. And then there was, have you ever had the turkey roll-ups? Where it's like turkey almost in like a
it's just like a
biscuit
wrap or
dough,
something.
and then they like make it look like a cinnamon roll, and then they pour gravy over it.
I have no idea what that is.
Freaking good.
That sounds really good.
It was so good. Like turkey roll-up day, we would all freak out. That probably wasn't the healthiest thing now that I think of it. Because, you know, that like bright yellow gravy that's like so good, but you know it's just
bad for you.
Yeah, it's got something in it.
All right, so that's really about all I have for
yeah.
counterfeit and $2 bills and stuff. So let's get racist. Not us, but
Let's
other
fight
people.
racism.
Let's fight racism.
No, I think I might say something a little bit on the edge about this too. Let's roll with it.
Okay.
It's not going to be bad.
Okay, so I've seen this just today. This popped up, and I saw a lot of it on Facebook. Now, by the time you guys are hearing this, it's going to be like a week later, so it'll probably be died down by the
We're
time
gonna make
anybody
you care
hears this.
again.
Right. So this is on Epoch Times. Old Navy receives backlash over interracial ad. So, and it's just a still shot, I think, wasn't it? Was there an actual commercial, or was it just a print ad? Because I couldn't tell.
It was just the tweet.
I think it's just, you know, just a tweet that, yeah, it just says, "Oh, happy day! Our hashtag thank you event is finally here. Take 30% off your entire purchase." And it gives a website. But in the picture, you have an interracial couple. You have a, you know, white blonde male, got a little bit of facial hair. He has a black wife, and then their mixed race son.
That is not a mixed race baby.
It's black. He's a black.
That
baby.
is a black child. That was my only deal with this. I was like, okay, if those two got together, she's extraordinarily light skinned because you know they'll use light skinned models anyhow.
Yeah.
They rarely put like who's the actress Lupita. I cannot pronounce her last name. Nyong'o. I butchered that. Anyhow,
I don't even know
if they
who she
got
is.
together, they would not produce that baby. That baby is black. That is not a mixed race baby at all.
What if
It's hers from a previous marriage, and he's like, I'm your father now.
Right. He adopted or something.
That's the
Yeah.
only
He
way I
married
see
in,
that
maybe.
actually being
Legit.
Yeah.
But we're nitpicking here. We're genuinely nitpicking. I see nothing wrong with this ad. This is
No, who would?
this is like modern day American Family, really.
Oh, somebody got all crazy.
And
They
talk
posted
about,
about what the percentage actually is. I don't think it's in these comments, but what the percentage actually is for a white man to marry a black woman. And it's low, you know, it's not the same as white on white marriage or black on black marriage. But oh, Chad, this is our new word too. Where did it go? Miscegenation. This puts miscegenation into my vocabulary. Thank you. Because at first Chad's like, oh, well, what, misogyny? I said, no. Miscegenation is the mixing of races, and I didn't even know this was a word until now. but it is, and it refers to, I guess, well, they're trying to use it as the impurities that result from this racial mixing.
It's just retarded.
And you can bet that all the racists were on it using that.
Oh,
that
of course.
word.
That's the big word. Yeah, we went and Googled it just to see like what the definition and the proper pronunciation of the word was. And like immediately under that, like under the definition and pronunciation, it said in the news, and it was the same story that we were talking about. So I don't see what's wrong with this ad. I think
remember the
people are
Cheerios?
just...
Yeah, you remember the Cheerios?
Was that a mixed race couple?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
She just pours some Cheerios for either her dad or her mom. One's white, one's black. I can't even remember which in this situation. But, you know, they're all being loving, and people had a problem with that.
People need to get over stuff. You know, people get so butthurt over the simplest little things anymore. That has nothing to do with them.
Oh, the model responded.
Ooh.
Model Grace Mahari, the woman featured in the ad, took to Instagram to give her take on this. She says, in light of the controversy revolving around my pretend family, I am proud to be representing interracial love, multiculturalism, and most importantly, a mentality that supports opportunity for all ethnicities. Oh, that was rehearsed. I like that.
There was a couple drafts to that, I'm sure. And then she showed it to somebody.
And they're like,
okay, send.
Okay. So, let me ask you this. Because she's like, this represents race, culture, and ethnicity all wrapped in one. What is the difference between ethnicity and race? Am I just, like, stupid for not knowing that?
I don't know.
I don't know if you're stupid. Look, type in, let's learn.
Let's learn, people.
Ethnicity versus, I'll do it.
Here, or I'll do it.
Okay,
Here.
fine.
I'm closer. Ethnicity versus what?
Ethnicity versus race.
Difference in comparison.
Oh my gosh.
I need to bookmark this, though, so we save it to share with everyone later.
Oh, really? We're going to...
Oh, yeah, I'll share it. Okay, so here's the definition between ethnicity and race. So here's ethnicity. An ethnic group or ethnicity is a population group whose members identify with each other on the basis of common nationality or shared cultural traditions. The term race refers to the concept of dividing people into populations or groups on the basis of various sets of physical characteristics, which usually result from a genetic ancestry.
Oh.
So
race is genetics, ethnicity is the food you eat.
The food you eat, the traditions that you share, the dress.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. There is a difference. Physical characteristics.
Because I guess so in that regard, like you could have somebody that is physically more white and physically more black. Okay. Different races based on genetic. But they would both share the same ethnicity because maybe they both came from Tennessee. or as opposed to two people that came from Brazil.
We don't
or
think
came
of
from South Africa.
Our states, like our states as ethnicities. You're not.
Well, yeah, you don't think about it because you're that close to home. You think of somebody else being of a certain ethnicity. But if you go to Europe, they see America itself is its own type of ethnicity, I would say, based off of this definition.
Yeah, but do you think there's a difference between like people from Texas? Do they have a different ethnicity than say people from Maine?
Oh, I'm sure, kind of.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird to think about. I really have never thought about that.
That's the way that I see that. So there's this is on diffin.com. I've never heard of this website before, but it's actually
it sounds like the difference between things.
Between two different things.
No,
so it actually gives you, it's like a little chart. to compare. It gives you the word
God,
ethnicity.
Please type in socialism versus communism. Do it.
Oh God, seriously?
No, I'm not gonna make you do that.
God,
We're not gonna go into that.
that's a whole other show. So I can't remember if I mentioned it on this show or not. I think I did on this show last week. I was talking about how I was getting ready to start doing these videos, helping my cousin do these videos. I showed them to you earlier.
I like it.
It's about like going and voting and stuff like that. And it's all like small town elections and stuff like that. I'm way behind this monitor. I need a different desk. I'm like straddling or almost straddling the drawers.
Storage is ridiculous.
I know. And it's full too. That's what's crazy. But so that was like my past Saturday night is he came over here and brought some footage like from his cell phone and camcorder and some still shots and stuff like that. And then we pieced that with some music and he did voiceover work and he was pretty proud of it. I was kind of like, okay, this is just another day for me because I edit our stuff kind of all the time. But I actually had to sit and he basically played director and I played editor and just kind of pieced it together. He's like, okay, let's do this one here and this one there and whatever. But it was kind of fun. I have no idea what just made me think of that though. Something in what we were talking about made me think of that, but I don't know. Probably just some conversation that he and I had that might have related. It's probably what made my brain go there. But we don't need to get into all the conversations that he and I had. Because we totally derailed ourselves a few times. Like we should have been working on the video. We got started talking politics and crap like that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is he politically very different than you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm surprised that it was as civil as it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know if I can talk to Republicans anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's gotten so polarized.
He's like, you're not feeling the burn, are you? I was like, wait here. And I went and got my Bernie shirt. I was like, look what I got. He's like, oh no.
We're voting tomorrow too.
I know. So yeah, big night for us.
The
night before. It's like
New York
it's like primaries eve.
Took the fun out of this though.
Yeah.
You know?
You never know.
Because we kind of no, we know what's gonna happen.
Never
We've
say
all
never.
mourned privately.
Never say never. Don't be so defeatist, Amanda. God.
I'll tell you what. I think the only way he gets it if Hillary Clinton gets indicted on some email related thing.
Hopefully. She needs to.
Do you hope? I kind of hope
I kind of hope so too. Yeah. Yeah. There's something needs to happen there.
Because I just can't stand her talking about like taking down big banks in Wall Street when she like won't release.
She won't release what she was talking about. I finally got that eyelash out of my eye. It's been driving
Good
me nuts
job.
all night. God.
Your eye is super red.
I'm sure it is. I've been like all night for like the last 2 hours. I've been like rubbing my one eye because I felt something in there and I finally got an eyelash
Way to
out
go.
and it feels so much better. I don't have pink eye, I swear. Just an eyelash. But yeah, I think it's a little fishy that there's the email thing, there's the won't release transcripts for speeches thing. I'm sure there's something else I'm forgetting. There's so many cases of what you pretty much could say voter fraud that's gone on in different states in these primaries that she can. And even these things that people from super PACs are doing that she can kind of distance herself from a little bit, but that she's totally condoning what's going on.
I'm super upset over the independents not being able to vote in the primaries. Like,
yeah, that's
it's
some
very
BS.
clear that their party's not going to make it in the system as is. So their say is taken away completely.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's why at least that's the one thing I like about Indiana's primary, because we just have a completely open primary.
Yeah, you don't have to register as something. I liked that. You don't have to register something because I don't, if I had to register and pick one, well, it wouldn't be Republican. I know that much, but I don't know if I'd go totally Democrat too. Like there's a lot of times I'm disagreeing with them.
Yeah.
So to go as like a democratic socialist, would I have to pick independent? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here's what gets me, it kind of cracks me up, is that Donald Trump has flat out said he thinks Bernie, even if he doesn't get the nomination, that Bernie should still keep running and go as an independent. He
said that?
Yes.
What?
He said that, yes. So what that tells me is more even, I said this before. I know I've said it to somebody. I know I put it in print. I don't know if I got recorded saying it, so I'll just say it now to make sure that it's recorded to later see if I'm right or not.
Okay.
I've had this inkling that Trump's thing is just one big con.
No, they
like
said
he
it.
wanted, he wants to destroy the Republican Party, which he's doing a good job of doing. But if you look at any interviews with him from 10, 15 years ago, compare him to now, they're night and day differences. Which tells me that he really is more of a Democrat than he is a Republican. If anything.
I don't know if it's subterfuge like that. I think because one of his former, I don't know, she was a staffer in his campaign to try and get him in the first place. He knew it was a joke to begin with. Like everybody, it was common knowledge that this is just a joke, so far of a long shot that we're not even serious about this.
Yeah.
But she says he doesn't know how to get off the train now because his ego is taken over.
Yeah.
And he can't stop himself now. Now he's
like, I'm in this far, I might as well keep going.
Nobody expected him to be this popular.
Yeah.
No, not even himself.
But I think, here's what I was thinking, is I think he secretly likes Bernie. Because there's been a few times that, I think there's been a few times here and there where he has actually stood up.
Really?
For Bernie here and there. Just a few, not tons.
I can't get anything coherent out of anything he says.
I nothing comes to mind specifically because I'm putting myself on the spot.
Okay.
But there's been little things that I think I heard here and there that I think just taken in that one context, you wouldn't really think much of it. But just like you start piecing it together and it's like, okay. The thing that really pushed me that way is the fact that he said, I think Bernie should run as an independent.
Wow. I didn't know he said this.
Yeah, he said that. So my whole hope has been that he wins the nomination. And then it's him and Bernie. And then it's like, you know what? I'm tired of this. F it, I'm out. Right down toward the end. And leave it. But I don't know what the Republican Party could do if he decides to drop. Can they just all of a sudden usher in somebody to fill his spot?
I don't think that's something that has ever happened before, too. Yeah. And I think they'd have to hurry and craft something to get somebody in there. They wouldn't go without anybody. I know that much.
Yeah.
They'd throw somebody in there.
Yeah.
If that's Cruz, I don't know.
God, I hope not.
Did you hear about there's never been two more unlikable candidates than Hillary Clinton and Trump? Because everybody hates them.
That's what about Cruz? Everybody hates Cruz.
Oh, yeah, they hate Cruz. Yeah, they said Bernie's the only candidate. As his constituents get to know him, which is all the people in Vermont, they actually like him more.
Yeah.
Everybody else, they get to know
them more. They hate them more.
They hate them more. Yeah.
Yeah. And I can see that. Yeah. And I saw.
And this wasn't some idiotic poll. This was a serious. I don't know who did this, but it was a respected name. So.
Yeah. I saw some political cartoon this morning, might have been yesterday, I think it was today, that since Cruz went ahead, already announced Carly Fiorina as his running mate, but they basically, it was the two of them in the picture of the American Gothic picture, the little man and woman with the pitchfork. I can't remember what they called it. It was something like America's Disgust or something. I can't remember what it was. It was something really kind of trashing the two of them.
I was like, oh my God, I'm watching Palin all over again.
Kind of.
I'm watching John McCain just skewer himself.
Did you see whenever he announced it and she was there, she was singing? She was made up some little song singing about Carly Fiorina was singing.
No.
Yeah. I think she was talking about getting to spend more time with his little girls or something.
What? Oh, what?
I think that's what it was because they would be on the campaign trail together, so she would get to spend more time with his little girls, and she started making up some little song and singing about getting to.
Did you see her fall off a riser and Cruz and his wife not give a shit?
No.
Not help her or look at her.
Oh, we got to YouTube that later.
I think his wife looks down and kind of smiles, but makes no move. Oh my gosh, get up!
That's great.
Some other Secret Service rushes in to help her up. Not them. They just continue waving.
What a train wreck this whole year is.
It really has.
I'm ready. I'm ready for something new. Like, I'm ready for it to be done so we can talk about something else.
I watched a pretty dang good TED Talk where I know we're going over, but
That's fine.
it's like Monica Lewinsky has resurfaced, and she's talking about like the like public shame gaining more and more traction, and people just like
people don't care because it gets them in the spotlight.
Well, she said no, it's like crazy how much everybody's like into shaming this person or that person.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like publicly too, so other people can look at it. And
Gotcha.
she said some crazy stuff like she had to like shower with the bathroom door open because her mom was so worried she was going to take her own life.
Oh,
when
wow.
that whole, like it's the
Yeah.
first time she's really talked about like what she went through during that.
Wow.
Because you have to remember she was 22.
Yeah.
And
She was just getting her life started, really.
Yeah, I don't think about that. Like, oh, I made some terrible love mistakes when I was 22. Like like some big ones, and she just made a mistake with the wrong
person
because she thought he was in love with her.
Oh yeah,
she did, and like I
well, yeah, you're young and naive. You're gonna think, oh my gosh, we're gonna get married.
He's gonna. Look at her. I don't think that she's young because she was always in a suit or like real conservative clothes, and she always had that crazy plastered hairdo that was like almost like a beehive quality.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize she was only 22 when this happened.
Right.
So she's talking about it now and talking about like how intense it was and how yes, you can overcome it and live your life.
Yeah.
You know, if you go through something really humiliating, but she was trying to say, this is not because Hillary's running that I'm coming out with my story now. She said she was inspired to because some other kid took his life because his college roommate had been like videotaping him, sexting or doing video cams with it, and he just killed himself, like jumped from a bridge. So she's like, I gotta stop this, and I gotta tell people like they can get through it. And I was like, dang, Monica Lewinsky's coming out again. Like, it's the 90s all over again.
I saw some stupid meme yesterday or today that said the joke's on Hillary Clinton if she wins the presidency, that she now has to sit at the same desk that Monica Lewinsky was under when all that was happening.
There's a Beyonce song where she has lyrics where it says, he Monica Lewinsky'd all over my dress.
No.
And Monica Lewinsky actually corrected her. I thought this was cool of her. She's like, no, actually he Bill Clinton'd all over your dress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like use the right
use the right person there.
And I was like, dang.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
Wow. Anywho.
We're just
that's the last I think I'm kind of tapped out.
And
we're hitting an hour.
We went to the 90s and I'm done. I don't know why we did that.
That's fine. That's kind of how this show is meant to be. We just kind of see where it goes. But yeah, we've hit an hour, and I still got to try to work on your computer and see what I can get to happen on that. So we'll see what happens there.
All right, we'll let you guys know.
So anyway, if you guys are watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, leave us comments below, let us know what you think of our show. Hopefully somebody's watching. If you're listening on the podcast, whatever, listen to our pre-recorded outros. There's not really much else to do other than sit and listen. You could write us an email. Our email address is in the pre-recorded outros, but in case it's hard to hear, I know it's chadandamanda.tsa@gmail. Let us know.
We get super excited about mail too.
We do. Like,
inordinately excited. We are pumped.
So let us know, if you guys have any particular stories that you want us to talk about, let us know. We'll talk about it. We'll give you a shout out. If you just want to say hi to you, we'll say hi to you.
Yeah.
So anyway, we will call it a night. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.